Today, we're gonna test a new infection mod called the Prion Infection Whisper from Within. And this infection mod is really focused on starvation and hunger, so we're gonna go test and infect to see what this mod can do. And we're gonna start by infecting this giant village here with this lovely structure, and the way the mod works, nothing will really spawn the first day until the night time. And the first thing that will spawn at night are deathworm. As you can see right now, I've set up a command block to show you because they all spawn underground. So we have one over here. This is a deathworm. They don't look like much, and they're not gonna do anything until they transform into vials. And we somehow have a primordial cave under here. This is why all of the deathworm has spawned here. And as you can see, some of them just teleports or just disappear. Some of the infection is happening right now. It's really hard to follow because so much is happening at the same time. But they do spawn a lot. Look at that. The whole cave is now covered in deathworm. Oh, there it is. These guys just became some vile entity, and these guys will just try to roam around and infect mobs like this. There we go, they're jumping and missing. And there we go, this Velociraptor now has Whisper from Within, which means there is something inside of it that is, oh, hey crap, that is brewing, and it just keep coming. Poor Velociraptor. And there we go, we now have a Lacerator. This is the next phase of the infection. There is a lot of happening right now since this place is filled with life. And as you can see, the Prion infection is more centered around mob infection than block infection. So we're gonna have a lot of things to look at today. And those Lacerators, they need to kill stuff to evolve. Pretty much all the mobs are based on kill. Well, okay, it might take some time, and the more infection they do, the more kills they do, they gain. And now they're at phase 44, which means only certain type of mobs can spawn. And after a certain point, Lacerator can spawn by themselves. They don't need Deathworm anymore. So the base of the infection are these little guys here that are glowing. So we might have a while, and I'll come back once I have a few mobs here, because this infection takes some time to take effect. So we're gonna wait and see when they have more than just a few vial and worm. Oh, and there we go. We now have what is called an envoy. It is a flying mob that will spawn a bunch of Lacerator, infecting even more what's going on around. And as we can see, the overworld is a bit more easy to infect since the dinosaurs are way more deadly. So these things are better off in the overworld, killing random like mobs, like skeletons, zombies. I don't know at what phase each mob can spawn, but I think I saw some vials spawn by themselves right now, and we are at phase 136. It's pretty much like points, even though it's called phase. It's not like there's not 136 different phase. It's just like mass from skull or points from flesh. If you're playing in survival, there's also a way to lower this. Killing Prion mobs will lower this phase. We are now at 138. We're still at 138. I don't know the numbers, but it seems that killing mobs should lower the phase. I don't know how much you have to kill, but that's what they said. Also, don't be surprised if after a certain time some of the mobs start to kill each other. This will also give some of the Lacerator more kills, giving them the ability to infect and evolve into something else. So it seems like both Envoy despawn or just starve to death because they're not here anymore. We're now at phase 153 and the Lacerators keeps killing themselves. But I think every night there's a new wave of mob that spawns, so all we have to do now is to wait for the nighttime for the next wave. Also, I don't like the fact that they can fit in hollow logs. That makes this thing even more scary right now. Alright, it's nighttime. The Lacerators has found some turtles to kill, some squid, and we should have another batch of mobs spawning soon. Yep, there we go. We have some new worms. They seem to not spawn above ground, and we now have some vile entity that are gonna infect the Grossoceratops. But these guys under here are probably hindering or helping the infection. I don't know. I don't know if it's helping or not, but they are not able to kill these guys yet. The infection is not strong enough. It's just burrowing inside them and just doing nothing because these guys regenerate so fast. Oh no, there we go. There's new worm up here. So that means mobs will also spawn on top. And I've seen some of them teleport around, so this can be quite scary if they teleport in your base. Alright, so from what I can see inside the cave, the dinosaurs are keeping the infection low. So for the sake of the video, we're gonna boost ourselves the phase to at least 500 and hope that we can see a bit more stuff spawn. There we go. There we go. Alright, these guys, I was waiting for them. So it seems that they spawn at phase 500. These are cannibals and look like they spawn everywhere. Holy crap. They should do a bit better against the dinosaurs here. There we go. We have one. I guess they only spawn in dark spaces. There's one inside this bat hub here. What is it doing? Nothing. It's not attacking creepers, that's for sure. As the lacerator, after a while, they're gonna kill each other because they're trying to not starve to death. Wait, hold on. We have an infected spider here. I don't know where it came from, but we're in the underground, but they're still... This is a night walker. Now, some mob will have an infected version, and now we have this night walker, but there's also an infected cow, an infected pig, and an infected sheep. So after a while, a cannibal will become a starved. And oh my god, there's a failed human infection too. These things will become starved also, and these guys can evolve into more infected. There's the slasher, the rooted, oh my god, the boomer, the slammer, and the wendigo. And the boomer just did what it's supposed to do, which means explode and drop off some lacerator. This reminds me a lot of Halo. I'm not sure what each of these variants do, but I know that the slammer has a... What the heck? What is this knockback? He's gone. All right, it's nighttime and we now have cannibals spawning at the surface, so I think it's time we boost up the phase to see the final state of the infection, the block infection, my favorite part. Yay! Holy crap, what is that? A necro. I've never seen one. Is that like an upgraded version of the spider? What the heck? So the infection seems to be a bit more prominent right now. There's infected, well, dying, but this guy will die of infection, so he should probably drop... Yep, there we go, a cannibal. So it's a humanoid? I guess it drops a cannibal. Where's the flesh coming from? Where's the cloth coming from? All right, we're now above phase 3000, which normally will take days upon days to get there, but there should be a new mob that spawns that will start the block infection. There we go. We have a hive inside a cave here. Oh, so the envoy just dies of starvation. Well, that explains earlier, but anyway, this is a hive. It doesn't look like much right now, just another infected, but this stings. Right now, it is... Yep, it is mobile, but it will choose a spot and it will infect the ground around it, creating more infected and really solidifying the infection. So right now, all we're gonna do is wait and see where this guy will settle. Feel like I'm playing Settlers of Catan and I'm just waiting for someone to place its first colony, but anyway. Okay, so we've been here for only a few minutes and there's already 9 hives that spawned around here, so they are spawning way more quickly than I thought they would. I forgot to say, at this stage, every mob has the infection effect. As soon as they spawn, they will get the decay and the infection, and each time a mob die, there's a chance that they will become something else. Right now, it didn't happen, and then this guy just died. So for a hive to really settle down and grow its root, there we go, it has to kill a bunch of mobs, and that was the last one, and now it has settled down on the top. We're gonna wait for this one to spread on the top while the other ones are just doing their things in the caves. And as you can see, there is a new block here called a root block, and this is the root of the block infection. Get it? Root. We're gonna have to wait here and see this thing spread block to block and cover this entire area. So, let's wait a bit here, and here we go. Alright, it's been an hour. Let's see how it's been. And as you can see, it is not a fast infection for the block phase, but at least there's so many hives. Holy crap, 29 hives right now. But as you can see, the root block is going forward, leaving behind some living blocks. So basically, all you need for an infection is this root block right here. So if I were to, like, say, put a block here, it would start to infect. Unfortunately, there's no config way to make it grow faster. So I cannot do mass infection like I do with the skull or the flesh or whatever, but it's kind of nice to see that it can infect most of the blocks, and it seems to stay on the ground. It doesn't grow up. So now we can look at the mob that spawn around the hives. There is a few turrets. Like this one is a vicious turret. We have a Nephthys. There's a smoker leaving smoke into the air, and these are like turrets to protect the hive from harm. And they seem to exude some sort of effect. Look at that. It's like they're breathing, like a beating heart. What does this effect do? It gives me the internal decay and whisper from within. And after an hour, the phase is at 3,369. Nice. That means that it doesn't grow really fast, although it is extremely present in this world. Also, one more thing before we go to a more exciting test. What I want to show you is how weak they are to fire. Just like the flesh, just like from another world, It's another infection that is easily destroyed by fire. Look at the spread. The turrets are not immune to fire also, but fortunately for the hive is immune to fire. So once again, fire is an extremely useful tool against this infection. Yep, that is a bit wild. Holy crap. It burns, but extremely slowly. Like you can see, there's some holes here and there, but it takes a really long time to burn. Anyway, we are standing on our block that we placed earlier, and as you can see, it grew a little bit, but it's time to move on and go to the Tinker's Citadel and to really test the infection of the Prion infection mod. We are going to already boost the phase to 3000, letting the hive already spawn, but not only that, we are going to already put ourselves some root block inside of these structures here to really see if they can infect, like, whole structure, or they are pretty limited to the ground. But in both ways, the mobs themselves are really invasive. So I don't think any of these guys inside here, those oh hey, grab the Karat thing. How neat. Should do that. I don't think these guys will survive long in here. We're gonna put one at the bottom of this jungle tower here, pretty much like there. We're going also to put one in front here. But the infection has begun. We have 11 blocks and now 3 root blocks. It is spreading. And it seems we have only one hive that is hidden inside a cave. All right, it's been a few minutes. Let's see how many hive we have now. There we go. We have 5 hives and ooh, we have some hive. What seems to be below this structure here? This one just spawned in the vault. The only thing is it has no mobs to kill unless I go and activate these spawners, I guess. Is this thing strong enough to kill all these forgotten? Yep, there we go. It's settled down, and now it's gonna infect from below. Already we had some living blocks, so it doesn't really matter, but it just shows that a hive can spawn in total darkness anywhere. All right, so it has been infecting for a few hours, because the infection, like I said, is really slow. But if we look here, it has come all around the citadel, the castle, the whatever. And this is the first place we placed. It never went over the door and is not climbing on the walls. This infection cannot go more than 2 blocks up or 2 blocks down. And I think the best way to show this is here at this structure. It went all the way of the stairs up to the top, but it ignored when it has 2 blocks deep. And it couldn't continue to go up because it was too high, and it cannot even go over stairs. So of course, the block infection is not the main type of infection from this mod. The mob infection is way more dangerous than the block itself, especially since it can burn. And if we go in the cave where there's a lot of lava pool, you can see there's a big difference in height. These guys don't have gravity, which means the fire dug for 5 blocks. It's insane. Look at that. It is slowly chipping away the blocks since it's burning too slow, and these root block are like spreading faster than the fire, which means it's never going to be a block infection when there's fire. It's just going to dig straight down. As for the inside of the citadel and the meeting that we won't interrupt, no one has really died except the mob that killed them from a distance. Other than that, there's no infection, there's no mobs inside, there's too many lights. They cannot spawn even here. There's just like stationary mobs. And that's it. It couldn't get any further. So that was the Prion infection mod. I hope you liked it. And if you do, please subscribe. We're gonna do a bit more tests with this mod in the future, pairing it against other mods like the Skulk, the Flesh from Another World, and the Spore. We are getting a big roster right now. It's getting a bit out of hand. Anyway, as always, you're awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.